Welcome. Today we're going to be doing 3 paintings. They're all of a similar type, which is called acrylic flow painting, but they will all have different techniques. So in one we will use a fork, in one we will use a straw, and in another we will use PVC pipe or even a paper cup. The first painting will be with 3 colors and white. Now I'm going to put red and yellow because it will mix to make orange, and yellow and blue will mix to make green. I've already put glazing medium in these bottles and paint. I put paint in the bottle and then glazing medium and a little bit of rubbing alcohol because it dries faster than water. The main thing is the paint has to be runny. Now I've put the thumbtacks here so that the paint doesn't roll underneath. When it rolls underneath, you're going to have a big mess. So you try and keep it so that no paint goes underneath. All right, I'm going to start with white. They do dry up a little bit. I'm going to pour a little white in there and then start with the red. Now I'm going to put a couple of drops of silicone in because that seems to help making the, ooh, that's a lot of drops. That helps make the cells. All right, now I'm going to try yellow. Blue. A little more silicone. Careful this time. That's enough. Seems to be coming out a different end. Okay, I'm going to put a little more white. And a little more red. Alright, can you see how pretty that is? Now I take this and turn it this way, and this is why they call it a dump. You turn it back over. I wait a minute to let it all kind of sink down, and now I'm going to lift it off. And that is the start of our picture. So we're going to see what happens. We will see if the red and yellow makes orange, and if the blue and yellow makes green, and if we get any cells. It's like the blue is kind of disappearing right now, so I'm going to help it along. A lot of it has to do with how thick or thin the paint is. So if you have it runny enough, it's going to work better. If you have too much silicone, it will roll right off the canvas. You don't want that. Now I can take this and move it with my finger this way, but I don't want it to end that way, so I've got to get some paint over there too. Okay, this is looking like this. The paper plate is a good idea. It keeps your paint from going all over the place. You can see where blue and yellow made the green and the orange. All right, that is where we're more or less headed, and we're going to see what it does on its own. So I'm going to go on to the next one. On this painting, I'm going to show you how I mix the paint. So I put that much paint in. Then I'm going to use some glazing medium to thin it. This is what painters use. Painters use either a glazing medium or another product that they call Floetrol. This is found in hardware stores, and I can put a little of this in there too. It makes the paint go smooth. And did you see how runny it is? We need to have this paint be very runny or it won't mix with each other. So now I'm going to mix this up. I don't want to mix it too fast because I don't want to have it get bubbly. On the glazing medium, they dry transparent. Also, the Floetrol dries transparent. So where it looks pink, it will not be pink. It will still be the color that I originally put in, which is magenta. But I need to stir it enough. See, now the bottom of it is coming forward. If I end up adding black to this painting, it will turn this even darker than it is. That's looking like it's about ready. Okay, and now for the magic. I'm going to use a little bigger cup this time. I'm using a bigger base. The first time I used a paper plate. Now I'm going to use this roasting pan with cups because I want this to be up at the surface, above the surface of the edges. Okay, so you can either use white paint or gesso. White gesso is the same. White or gesso. Gesso also dries white. It is not transparent. All right, this time we are going to use analogous colors. Analogous colors are next to each other on the color wheel. So that is burnt sienna. This one is yellow ochre. These are all shades of yellow. This is like Naples yellow, but when you get to the siennas, sienna is dirt in Italy, and when they burn it, they have raw sienna, which is the plain dirt, and then they have burnt sienna if they heat it. So that's what we have there. Now I'm going to add a little bit more white. This really looks runny. I'm really curious as to what's going to happen. So now I didn't add black yet, and I didn't add the magenta, which would just be accent colors. But this time I'm going to do a pour. So, well, I think we can still, let me see if I can do it this way. It's pretty full. It's pretty runny. I thought I would try foam core. This is a piece of foam. You can try this on anything. Wood works. Wood, How about drawer bottoms, which is kind of a pressed wood? Even 300-pound watercolor paper. Some of you have asked me whether these type of things work on 300-pound watercolor. Yes, they do. Let me catch that corner. Let me catch this one. Now the yellow is coming on really strong. So, we have to decide. Now see, if I do this with my finger, then I've got to put color over that. And it's better to, this time I'm going to put a little black. Put a little black in the corner. And if you could shout out to me and tell me whether you want me to put some of that magenta in to see what happens. What do you think? We're moving across that yellow. All right, I could hear 76% of you said, yeah, add the magenta. Okay, you said so. Here we go. How about right on top of the black? Okay, looks pretty thick. I think I'll put a little bit. The problem with silicone, so I hear, it hasn't happened to me, but the problem with it is that it is oily and it can take all your paint straight off the edge. And you wonder why you have an empty canvas. When the paint is too thick, then it doesn't want to move, and it doesn't do as much as when it's runny. So what we can do in this case, woo, where's that cup going? Okay, now where's my fork? All right, here's my fork. So it's time to play with the fork. If you take a closer look, you can see all of these beautiful scallops in here that the fork made. And look at these tiny hairline marks that the fork made. Anyway. Well, I am adding a couple more colors, but we'll go on to the next one and see where it leads us. All right? All right, for our final picture, we're going to pour quite a bit of white all over the canvas, which I have prepared with a little bit of rubbing alcohol because it dries so quickly. Just to wet the canvas a little bit, I could have used water, but instead I've used alcohol. I'm just going to take this little... Okay, I'll move this around a little bit. There, how nice is that? Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more white. And this time I'm going to use a little silicone spray. The silicone actually comes in a spray, so we'll try just a little bit of a whisk around here. Okay, now this time we're going to take a paper cup and place it there, another paper cup and put it here, and I'm going to try a toilet roll and put it there, and a big, this is a piece of PVC pipe, I'm going to put it there. Okay, now I'm going to put some dark blue first. It looks a little bumpy. It looks a little thick. It's scaring me. Okay, then the next color, and I'm going to put a drop of silicone in there. Okay, then I'm going to take some, this is phthalo blue, a little phthalo blue in there, and some phthalo blue in here, and here, and a little bit of silicone in there and there. And now a little bit of aqua in here. And aqua. Woo! Uh-oh. We're in trouble with that toilet roll. It's not heavy enough to withstand the pressure, is it? Okay, now I'm going to take another blue, put in this one. Oh, and that one wants to waltz around. Okay, a little bit more silicone. And a lighter blue. Lighter blue. Lighter blue. Lighter blue. Woo! The paper cups don't want to stay where they are. That's funny. That's funny. And let's see. I'm going to go back to a little bit of dark. And a little bit of dark here. A little bit of dark here. And a little bit of silicone. Oh, it's so much fun. I love it. I love it. Okay, and a little bit of white at the end. Oh, brother. Well, you know, one thing about these, you never know how it's going to turn out at the end. It's not like a painting that I've just spent 40 hours on. So this is something entirely different. Okay, now the advantage of having the white already is that this is going to more or less waltz around the white. Da, 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 da. A little bit on the edges. And now I have to carry on with this one. Ooh, oh my gosh. Oh my golly. Ooh. This is a riot. And that does that guy. This guy is about done. Put him over here. And now I take this guy. Oh, wow. And he's done. Finally the biggie. Wow. Whoa. Oh. Ah. Oh. Ah. Ah. Oh. Do 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 do. Ah. Oh. Oh my gosh. What is happening? Let's just see what happens here for a minute. I see some cells. I see all kinds of interesting things. Oh my goodness sakes. Oh, you can probably see more than I can because I'm too close to it. Oh, now this is quite a bit more paint than we were using before. But it's a bigger canvas. We want to have enough to roll over the edges. Oh my goodness sakes. So folks, what do you think? You like? You no like? C'est la vie. Well, isn't that a bunch of fun? Acrylic flow painting is different for every artist that tries it, and everyone has a new little way. You've learned about how to use a fork, how to use a straw, and we learned that you could make this type of painting on any substrate. It's on canvas, on foam core, on wood. You can use it on just about anything. We've had a lot of fun. So as we roll through each picture one more time, I hope you'll remember the fun we've had, and I hope you try it for yourself. Sam, roll them. Okay.
Okay, we are rolling.
You never know what's going to happen when you do acrylic flow painting. And I hope that if you've enjoyed this show today, that you will mark a like, and you will share it, and you will subscribe so that I can tell you, I can notify you. Just Marge Kinney Acrylic Flow Painting. And you'll come back to my channel. Have a great day, and I hope you're painting with me. See you next time.